Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Laurence Benhamou on the line, and she's part of the AFM series that we're doing. She's an attorney that attended AFM in Century City, California this year, and let me tell you, that whole thing was packed. I've been told that that's one of the biggest ones in a long time, but first thing first, Laurence, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
All
Appreciate it.
right, so we got a lot to talk about today. I definitely want to get into your work and what you're doing at Benhamou Law. But before we
hmm
do that, AFM in Century City. Have you been
Yeah.
before? I know you're an entertainment lawyer. Have you been before? Is this your first time? Like, just give us some of
Yes.
the background.
I went in Santa Monica because the
Mm-hmm.
first time it's in Century City. I didn't go to Las Vegas last year, but I went to Santa Monica the year before, and I didn't go before. I don't know why. It just like time-wise, it wasn't probably the right period, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was different this time than in Santa Monica, but it was really fun and a lot of people, great energy, a lot of projects, and I thought it was a very good market. I'm
Mm.
familiar with the one in Cannes and in Venice, and it's like different energy everywhere, but this one was
Mm.
a good one.
And your practice, correct me if I'm wrong, your practice is in France and you work between France and the United States, right? California mostly, yes?
Yes, my practice is in Paris, and I've been an attorney in California even before being an attorney in Paris. So
Mm.
I have both hats, yeah. So I'm licensed to practice both in
Mm-hmm.
California and in France. And I'm
So,
specialized in entertainment law, film, music, series, all the creative industries. And I'm mainly do transactional. I haven't been doing litigation for many years because I choose to really work with the creative process
mm,
more than fighting for whatever visions are not respected. I try to
yeah.
secure that beforehand.
I'm always interested in how a lawyer picks their specialty for their practice. How'd you get into entertainment law specifically?
Well, I picked up film because I'm a movie buff, and this is why I moved to Hollywood when I was just after my completing my studies in France. I was like, okay, it's good, and I'm okay to be doing serious things and law
Mm.
and everything, but only if I can work in an area that I really love. And basically, movie picked me, and I said, okay,
Wow.
I'll do law with the movies. Okay, that's fine.
That's awesome.
Not the other way
Uh,
around.
what do you enjoy working with? So once upon a time, many years ago, I used to be in finance, and my a lot of my clients were in the creative field too. My office was actually in Century City, so a lot of people on TV
hmm
and otherwise, those were my clients. Before I got into media, now full time, going on a decade. But that being said, I always found the clientele interesting. There was never a dull moment. What do you enjoy working about your client base and working in film as a lawyer and
About
entertainment?
creative people. Why do I
Yeah, yeah,
enjoy?
yeah.
Well, first of all, I have the privilege because I'm an independent person and a
Mm-hmm.
freelance solo practitioner. I have the privilege of choosing my clients. And
Mm,
so I do choose to represent, of course, I represent all kind of people, but I do get more involved in projects that are really, I would like to see on screen. And being a movie buff, it's really, or a series buff now because series have such high
mm-hmm.
quality today
They really do.
that yeah, and music same thing. I just go with the heart and I go with what I'd like creative to be, and how it's always changing. Everyone is coming with their vision, and
Hmm.
it's important for me to make sure that they're protected in their vision, and that their vision is actually what we see on screen and not
Mm,
what everybody else's visions coming in the way to model that. So this is
hmm.
why I chose to position myself in a way that it's important for people to create, and when they're ready to just go and do everything that they can to be able to make their dream come true and
Hmm.
to pass on a message and create the magic of movies and music, then I'm totally for it. So I'm
Yeah.
there. hmm
Amazing. Now, I know one of the conversations I was having often at AFM this year, and we even had a panel on it and all kinds of things. I feel like we're not going to get away from this question anytime soon, is kind of, and I'm interested in your perspective as a lawyer, just in general, AI, like AI, how it's going to affect the future of Hollywood or just create protecting things in general. Give us maybe from your point of view, what kind of conversations you're having.
Well, right now, one of the main conversation we have is it copyrightable, is it protectable or not? And
Mm.
really, it's really on is it created with or by a human in the process? So that's really one of the question that the other question that's going on in the, I mean, I'm talking the legal world,
Yeah, yeah.
is are we going to create a new law for AI generated work and make sure that
Mm.
we protect the author as the author human because it's right of the human.
Wow.
That's really one of the main question. What do we protect and how it's, if it's not protected, then how do we ensure the chain of title? Because if we don't have the chain of title and contracts, not exploit the work, everything is blocked. So it's really that type of question that is going on right now. But on a more personal point of view, I think that the future of humanity and AI depends on what humans do with their freedom,
Mm.
what their and freedom to create. Do we want to be replaced, or do we use it to be better?
Yeah.
To can we stop innovation by and creativity? I think we need to learn how to work with AI and use it so that it makes us more. I mean, it can take up, it can go so fast. I've been
Mm-hmm.
experienced the process myself so that I get to know. I'm also a writer, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing a screenplay and I would like to maybe get directed and work on that. So I work with AI so that I understand the problematic that creatives go through and I can better find the type of responses that are adequate contractually. And because right now it's just a question, the law is not going fast enough.
Mm.
Even if Europe has the first law on AI, or first, like in the word, we have the first law is the AI Act. And the US are moving forwards on that too with the protection. But the US are like, if there is no human in the process, creativity
Mm-hmm.
can only be protectable if it's human. And in
Interesting.
Europe, our
Mm-hmm.
position is a little more flexible in a way that if there is human intervention enough so that we have the originality, the creative vision on there, then it's protectable.
Mm.
And so it's a little different. And so how do you implement that and how you do not block and how can I really what can I really tell my clients so that it helped them in the process?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's too conceptual, then great. Okay, the law says that and we're blocked here and you need to make sure that your prompt is original. Okay, great. But how do I make my prompt original enough so I don't have the problem later on? It's
Yeah.
very practical. How do I get paid? Okay, I signed a contract. Great. How do I get paid in there? Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not the author. So you cannot get paid as the author because you're not the author. Okay, hold on a second. Let's roll back. So these are the type of consideration that we have of practical matters.
Mm.
And it's going so fast and technology is going even faster. And I think with AI, it's going to be going faster that you cannot refrain creativity and innovation to be working side by
Mm-hmm.
side because you're scared that you don't know how you're going to be protecting it. You just have to work with contracts. You have to work with charters, ethics, so that people get more responsible on how they use it and what they want to do with it. And so that we can protect because people are more vigilant and conscious of how they use it. And they don't get,
Mm.
of course, if they want to get replaced by it, it's like saying that because I have AI, I don't need to learn how to read anymore, or
Yeah.
I don't need to learn how to write anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Have a nice life.
Yeah.
It's your choice what you want to do with it. It's your choice. If you want to use it to learn more and faster and be more
Mm-hmm.
efficient and get it so that it takes away the hours of research that you can have. It's just like it goes faster because you can talk with it and you can
Mm-hmm.
reflect and you can use it and you can play with it. It just gives you inspiration. Then
Mm.
fine. But then how do you really get it protected by law? It's another huge question.
Yeah.
So,
You mentioned you write screenplays, and I know as a creator yourself and in creating films, how do you feel that helps you work with clients?
well, I understand the process. It's like I went to film school so that I can understand the film process. And it's for me, it's like you're talking to someone. If you're a musician and you're talking to musicians, then you're talking the same language. If you're a
Mm.
writer, you're talking to writers or directors, or then you're talking the same language. If you don't know, then, I love to learn. I love to study. I love to learn. I'm always
Yeah, I
very,
understand you're also into meditation, yoga, things like that
yeah,
too,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. I Reiki and all this kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. Well,
These all kind of
you need to
play
be able to
into,
relax.
yeah,
Yeah, you need to take care of your health and you need to be able to relax and you need to be able to enjoy everything that life has to give you,
yeah,
Use your
it's great.
brain. It has two sides.
Yeah. So we're in an end of 2025, going into 2026. What's on your
Uh-huh.
mind? What's next for you?
Well, I'm hoping to, I mean, that screenplay I'm writing, I've been
Hmm.
working on it for over 2 years. It's an adaptation of 18th century novel, so it's something a little interesting to do. I'd like to finish it. That is one thing. That'd be great. Another thing is I'm also a teacher. I teach law at universities and film schools. So it's also something I like to explain things. So to people, I like when people understand. And it's not only my clients, it's also students because I know how important inspiration is and how you get someone who's like suddenly understanding. It can open ways for them in their lives. So I think that's a role that I'm happy to take when I
Amazing.
can. And so this is also, I'm actually planning on maybe teaching a little more in one university that's really dear to my heart. So this is something I'm crossing my fingers on. And aside from that, just I'm planning to health and balance and keeping on getting people vision to screen and so that we can watch amazing movies and amazing series and be able to have messages that uplifts people and story that uplift people and so that we can fight against all this darkness that's going on everywhere. I think this is inspiration is important, you know.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Laurence, this has been a lot of fun having you on the show today and getting some of
Thank
your
you.
perspective, especially stuff on the AI and the film. Everything else is great. Last question. If somebody is watching or listening to this and if they want to follow your work or to connect, how do they do that?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So I have a website that's laurenceben.com. It's LAURENCEBEN.com. You can find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's Laurence Benhamou Attorney. And you can find me there. I publish little videos, like less than 2 minutes videos, just information about different points of law that can be interesting, like how to protect yourself or on AI. If you're working with AI and, how what kind of clauses in your contract you can do. So I get little information in French and English that I publish, so you can do that. And you can find me on social media. Just type my name and I'm present on social media. I'll be happy
Perfect.
to respond. Just email me if anyone's got a question. I'll be happy to respond.
Wonderful. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So, again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And again, you heard correct. It's a daily show. So, we got plenty of things that are planned for you coming up. We don't want you to miss a thing. And Laurence, it's really been a pleasure
Thank
having you on the
you.
show. Thanks so much for your time.
Likewise. Likewise. Thank you so much for having me.